So after you've made sure that everything's tight, you can see that our rope actually goes around both ways. Our starting rope comes around this way, and then our ending piece goes around this way. So the only thing I do right here, and again, make sure everything's super tight, is I start here, just tying the opposite ends of my rope. Oops. So I've just taken one that's come around this way, and I've taken one that's come around that way, and I tie them in a knot. And make sure you tie them tight. And then I'm looking around here, I've got my tie that comes around that way, so I will bring it over further and see if I can find a piece. So you see I found a piece of rope that comes right, and I'm grabbing this piece of rope that goes this way, and then I'm going to tie those two in a knot as tight as possible, and not again. And then again, I've got my, you can see, I've got my piece that twists up this way, and then this piece is coming in from the other side. So I am going to tie those two off. And now I have my knotted hoop. I can remove my zip ties, making sure that I keep everything tight. Now you can also leave the zip ties on, just make sure that you leave them, make them safe, and leave enough rope that you can actually cover them up. And it might help to have a decent pair of scissors. So now we have our hoop. We can hang it this way, and then usually I put a little bit of chain up here after I make all my extra knots and hang it up as a ring hoop. The next, let's finish the actual knots. So now I'm going to, I've got some extra knots, I went ahead and put another one. So now I'm going to split these . Split them based on the bead that you're going to run through them. So I want to start out with some larger beads, so I can actually fit those in like that, and then make knots that way. And the longer you leave your rope, the more beads you can actually string smaller beads up through here and layer your beads out and make it fuller. So I've got my pacifier on there, and I've got my string through, so now I'm going to string some extra beads. And this will help keep your knots tight. So now, the thicker you can get this with beads, the less likely that knot is going to pull out. And finally, after an hour of tying and beading and whatnot, you should have lots of little tufts with beads. And I recommend at the very beginning to make your strings a lot longer than what I did. Some of them were too short and I couldn't extend them out.